When I signed my deal, I felt pressure. Don't wanna see the numbers, I wanna see heaven. You say, could you write a song for me? I say, I'm sorry about you that I believe. When I go home.
Hey guys, this is Anime Wizard 101, and I'm here with the review of Chapter 3 of Toriko. Last time, we saw that Toriko was able to defeat the Galela crocodile, and Toriko and Komatsu went their separate ways. So, the beginning of Chapter 3 is, or the better word for saying, is the first half of the chapter of this chapter is actually mostly Toriko by himself back home, and there's not a lot of dialogue or anything like that. It's mostly like picture panels, and we see that Toriko's house is like on the top of a hill, and apparently it's a gingerbread house made out of sweets. And we see Toriko knocked out in his bed, snoring. And then he wakes up because he starts smelling food. He wakes up, and then he just starts eating everything in his house. He gets up, starts walking. He grabs like some type of fruit, and then he grabs the wall, and it's like, I think, made out of chocolate or something. And he's like, delicious, delicious. Can't get enough. Then he walks down the stairs, and then he grabs a cup, and then he squeezes some kind of fruit or something, and then he gets the juices out and pours it in the cup. And then he starts drinking it, and then he's finished, and then he starts eating the cup. So I'm guessing the cup is made out of some kind of ingredient too, like candy or something. Then we see him change, and then he goes out, he picks out the paper, and then he notices that the IGO actually was able to capture a Galela crocodile by somebody else, and Toriko asks himself, then why did it ask me to get one if they got somebody else to get another one? And that's pretty much it. And then Toriko goes on to do something else, and then he's standing on the edge of the cliff, and then he just jumps off. And then he like this cliff, I think it's like at least as big as a small mountain or something, because in some of the panels we see Toriko like swinging from branches like Tarzan, branch to branch, and then he comes up to this cave. He goes inside, and then he notices that there's some animal inside. And then so he goes inside, and he sees what is called a Chakranodon winged dragon beast capture level 4. And then he goes to say that he's gonna go to the market to sell it. And then we move on to the second half of the chapter, and we see this big ass marketplace. It says that it's 3,000 acres, or Hakatare, or 7,500 acres big. And then we see that it's pretty much a market, but of course ingredients are being sold, but as an auction. We see people yelling out numbers like 6.6 million, 7 million, and then it's sold. So I'm pretty sure you guys know how auctions work. And then we're introduced to a new character. His name is Johannes. He works for IGO. He's under the food development branch. And he's talking to Komatsu about the different ingredients, about the ingredient that they have to buy, or they have to leave to go buy it, or else it's going to be sold to somebody else. And then we see Komatsu, and then he notices that Tom is right there delivering different ingredients to the different the different stands, and he tells Tom tells Komatsu if he wants to come and watch the product or the ingredient that Toriko's gonna bring. And of course, he turns around and he sees Toriko's like right behind him, and just like usual, Komatsu's like astonished at the feat that Toriko did. He's like he has a dragon on his back and he's just dragging it across the whole market. And then Toriko says that he knocked the dragon out, the Chakra Don. And then we get a short description about what knocking is. So I'm guessing it's some type of like move or ability that doesn't. It says here that it doesn't kill the animal, or yeah, the animal, but it knocks them out, and they are sold alive. And it goes to say that not any person could actually perform this knocking. You have to have a lot of experience on the field. And then, so after that, they go on to Toriko tries to sell the dragon to Tom, and then they're trying to like there's like a bargain going on. And then Johannes tells Toriko that he heard that he finished off a Galila crocodile, and then he mentions the four kings and how they should be more like himself, and how about during this era of gourmet and to discover new ingredients and help the IGO expand. But Toriko tells Johannes that they're not really interested, and there's no way you're gonna get them to like cooperate with the IGO because they're doing their own thing. And then Johannes starts talking about something called the rainbow fruit. He starts saying that the time of year or time of season that the rainbow fruit is ready to be picked. And then Komatsu is the one that says that the rainbow fruit is a legendary fruit that changes its taste even into 7 colors depending on humidity and temperature. Just crazy. It makes it seem like this fruit, it's like comparable to some kind of myth or something like that. Like what a phoenix is to mythology, something like that, I guess. I don't know. Then Johannes like yells at Komatsu to shut up and don't say it out loud because he doesn't want people to know about this. And then he goes on to say that a single drop of the rainbow fruit could turn a whole Olympic pool into a thick and luscious juice. Tom goes on to say that he's heard stories that the rainbow fruit is already extinct in nature, but actually Johannes clarifies that they actually have some type of experiment that they have in the IGO, but it's not natural. They have a rainbow fruit tree being grown, but it's not natural, so it doesn't work that way. And then, so Johannes makes the request for Toriko to go and capture the rainbow fruit. And the thing is that he goes on to clarify that the problem is that the Drow King or Drow Kong has his nest right next to the rainbow tree, so it's gonna be really hard to get to it. Then he goes on to say that they got this giant big ass tank that cost them 2 billion yen, and the Drow Kong just tossed it aside. And pretty much from what I see on this one of the panels of the illustration of the gorilla looking thing, it's like King Kong with 4 arms. And then he goes on to say that the capture level of the Drow Kong is 9, so it's not gonna be easy. And then Toriko starts asking him about if the Drow Kong is by himself or in a group, and because he says that they're known to to live in groups. So if it's by itself, it should be a lot easier to capture to defeat the Drokong than defeating the whole group. And then Komatsu decides to want to go with Toriko to go capture the fruit. And then after that, we see we go to the IGO biotype garden. It says there's a door and it says no admittance, entry forbidden. And then there's panels of skeletons of animals on the floor everywhere. And then we end up seeing the actual tree in the background, and there's Drokongs everywhere. I don't have a question for the day for today for this chapter, so I'm pretty much done. Please like this video down below, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys with chapter 4 next time. Peace.